I know who you are.
It's about time.
Yes, it is. All this time, we thought that we couldn't stop you because you were one step ahead. But that's not it. You don't just know what's gonna happen to us. You were there. You lived it. You remember when you were me. Like I told you from the beginning, I am the future Flash.
Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video regarding The Flash Season 3 and the reveal of Savitar. So I know earlier I did a quick video in which I did not talk, but I had so much on my mind I had to spit out some things that I was thinking about. So this will be a longer video explaining what we know about Future Flash and why he became Savitar and what could be his motives and what we know so far. Okay, so this reveal was absolutely crazy. I went fucking insane when I saw that shit. I was like jumping. I literally I swear I fell off my chair when I was watching this. I was like, oh my god. So I freaked out and I fucking loved that shit. Sorry for swearing so much, but I was just so hyped. Okay, so first off, this is weird because during my Savitar Final Thoughts video yesterday, I literally said what happens if the line where Savitar previously said,
I am the future Flash,
is a literal direct reference, which totally did happen, as Future Barry briefly explains at the end that he had been telling Barry the whole time who he was. So also another weird prediction that I made was the shot during the trailer when we saw Savitar's reflection in where Barry was standing in a puddle, and I literally said, what happens if this is them foreshadowing that he is some form of Barry, some twisted form? So all of these theories actually came true, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not one to point out what I've called out, but like that was kind of crazy how I literally said it yesterday and it came true today. Okay, so let's try and explain this to the best of my ability. So something has happened to this future version of Barry after the death of Iris driving him insane, as he has told us many times during the season. So something must have driven him crazy into becoming Savitar and running back in time and killing Iris, becoming nemesis with his past self and his past friends. So maybe in the Speedforce prison he was forced to relive Iris's death so many times during his stay in the Speedforce prison. He became crazy, like he said, and he is most likely a version of Barry from a different timeline that our Barry has screwed with. So maybe he is from Flashpoint, as maybe without the death of Iris this version of Barry ceases to exist, and maybe that's why he's willing to kill her. And I'm not sure, but it seems that way. So he's obviously very sinister. If you look at his face, look at his facial expressions and the way he says that line, I told you from the beginning, I am the future Flash. So I went apeshit. I was crazy. But also it could be an actual version of himself from the future, and it's this version, but it's like the darkest timeline version of him. And so maybe Savitar has come back after our Barry, the good Barry, has screwed with him, and maybe he's trying to set Barry down this path into becoming Savitar so he doesn't cease to exist. So maybe that's another way they're going down. Okay, so moving on, who is the greatest enemy than the hero being the enemy himself? So he knows everything about his enemies and the past versions of Team Flash. So next episode we'll be seeing Cisco and the team trying to erase some of Barry's memories in the past in order to make Savitar not know any of the actions that they will be taking, and so that gives them the upper hand into stopping Savitar. So the story of Savitar is far from over, as we have the mystery of why he became this evil speedster, and was being the Flash not good enough for him for this version of future Barry? Did he take a reverse Flash path, meaning to do good like in the New 52 arc when he comes back to kill himself and try to rectify all of his mistakes, but in turn ending up being the villain, which also happened in the comics? So it was really interesting to find out that future Barry is Savitar, as they have been dropping major hints throughout the whole season. First off, starting with Eobard calling Barry the villain, and everyone blaming Barry for screwing up their lives during the crossover. So when you look back at the bigger picture, we can see Barry has actually been this main big bad of season 3 of The Flash, like Savitar has been calling him. So the way for Savitar being trapped in the Speedforce, so future Barry, seemed to be very apparent during this episode due to the debut of the character Tracy Brand, who is a physicist who in the future actually helps take down Savitar. So she thought up of the idea of harnessing Savitar's speed in order to stop him. So I'm guessing that is going to be the way that they sort of build the Speedforce prison, as it actually holds speedsters within and doesn't let them out. So what do you guys think? And also they talked about them harnessing Savitar's suit to use it against future Barry so they can stop him. So oh my god, I love the scene where Barry begins to realize that he is the future version of himself. He is Savitar. I fucking watched that shit about 100 times and the number is still ticking up as I fucking love that reveal. It was like the most satisfying reveal in my opinion, and oh my fucking god, I love that scar tissue down his face. It really helps depict how screwed up Savitar is, and the scar really helps us picture what he has been through in his life. As earlier in the episode when Savitar and Killer Frost were together, he explained that he had suffered as a man, but as a god he is free from that suffering. So it's going to be really interesting to find out what happens to his face and what turned into the dark side. So we know Savitar is crazy, and in order to get released from his prison somehow in the future, he got his hands on the Philosopher's Stone, obviously using Julian, and used it to his advantage, getting an alchemy and a cult working for him in order for him to take everything away from Barry that he took from him. So I have this feeling that our Barry fucked his timeline, or maybe he just wants to set him on that path, as I feel like this version of Barry would never turn his back on his family. But oh my, he must have screwed him up so hard if it is an alternate version of Barry. And this is where the Speedforce prison comes into play, with him rewatching Iris's death over and over, which is the most possible outcome of his time in prison, as Wally watched his mum die over and over again. So he wants revenge on all of Team Flash from our time, as in the future our Barry is the one to make future Flash suffer like he did in the Speedforce prison. So it's going to be crazy getting into the last few episodes of the season. I think Savitar is nearly as good as the Reverse Flash. I can't wait to find out his true agenda, which truly interests me more than his actual identity, because oh my god, it's so interesting. I can't wait to find out what his true agenda is. So it seems like Savitar's armor is actually protecting him, not from only running fast and looking like a massive overpowering god, but also maybe from something else. So what I'm thinking is that it has something to do with the scar on his face. Maybe he was injured in a massive battle, which is most likely going to happen in my opinion, or that maybe it acts as some sort of tachyon device which makes him go faster, or that he has lost his powers somehow in the future and the suit helps empower him with Speedforce. As we know, the metal is unlike any metal we know, so we're presuming it's made from some sort of Speedforce power. And my final thing for this video is I love, like I have previously said, when Joe starts talking, and I quote, "What would we become if we didn't have love?" Which sparks a thought in Barry's head when he thinks to himself, could Savitar be me without love, and went down this suffering road of loneliness? And oh shit, maybe I became Savitar. And he confronts him, and what do you know, it's future Barry. That was so cool. So it seems like this future version of Barry is from 20 odd years in the future, where most of his good friends are dead. So maybe by killing Iris, Savitar is hoping that our Barry will become Savitar, or maybe that he would just purely wants him to suffer, maybe for screwing with his timeline. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching this ultra long video compared to normal, but there was just so much stuff I needed to cover and explain and get off my chest. But my top picks would be Savitar being an alternate future version of Barry, or future Barry in the future that is like the worst future that could happen. And the reason why he's still alive is due to his time in the Speedforce. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later.